I want to see everything. Your DMs and Instagram?
Wait,
Can I see your phone? No, let's stop. Can I see your phone, please?
It's my privacy.
So is that a no?
I said no. It's my property. I don't want to give her. And after last night's incident, I'm worried she's gonna slam it on the floor. She's so angry right now, and I don't know what she's gonna do with it.
In a totally unexpected twist, the court just froze Angela's bank accounts. This shocking move is a huge turning point in the ongoing drama between Angela and Michael from 90 Day Fiancé. After years of financial struggles, control issues, and manipulation, the law has finally stepped in. Now that the court has frozen Angela's accounts, it's not just a legal move, it's a major shakeup in their relationship dynamics. Angela, who has always used her financial power to keep control over Michael, is now in a tough spot, unable to access her cash without court approval.
Angela said she want me to talk to her, but Angela doesn't listen. It's always about her, make her happy and do things in her own way, which is not supposed to be so. I'm her husband, for crying out loud. It's not one-sided.
Angela was pretty much the boss when it came to her relationship with Michael. Right from the start of their marriage, she made sure that every dollar that came into their home went through her. She didn't just keep track of their finances, she controlled them, and she used that power to keep Michael in check. Every paycheck, every transfer, and every bit of cash Michael sent back home to Nigeria went straight into Angela's account. This setup wasn't just for convenience, it was all about control. Angela's grip on their relationship was tied to her ability to decide how, when, and if money would be spent. By making Michael financially dependent on her, she ensured he stayed under her thumb. Whenever he needed cash for food, clothes, or even sending something back to his family, he had to go through her. And she didn't make it easy. She often held back money, claiming they needed to save for emergencies or saying Michael was bad with money. This left him in a tough spot, unable to make his own choices or even take care of himself without her say-so. This financial control was more than just annoying for Michael, it was super frustrating and humiliating. Imagine working hard as an adult but still having to ask for money just to get by. That was Michael's life. Angela's tight grip on their finances meant he often couldn't afford new clothes or even his own meals. There were times he had to wear the same outfits over and over because Angela wouldn't give him cash for new ones. It wasn't that the money wasn't there, it was just her way of keeping him dependent. There were also times when Michael couldn't send money to his family back in Nigeria because Angela had limited access to their funds. This not only caused tension with his family, but also made him feel even more powerless in his marriage. Constantly asking for money made him feel less like a man, and Angela's refusal to let go of control only made things worse. This financial stranglehold created a toxic vibe where Michael felt like a guest in his own life, always needing Angela's approval for even the smallest money decisions.
I left the house. I worked for about 5 hours. I was so tired. My leg was as if it almost fell off me.
After enduring Angela's tight grip for so long, Michael finally got his chance in court. He was determined to break free, and he had plenty of evidence to back him up. During the divorce proceedings, he showed how Angela had consistently blocked him from accessing their joint funds, leaving him feeling trapped. He wasn't alone in this fight. Friends and family stepped up to share their stories about the financial imbalance in their relationship. These testimonies were key in swaying the court's decision. Witnesses talked about how Michael had repeatedly asked for money for basic needs, only to be turned down by Angela. They shared how he often had to go without or rely on friends and family because she wouldn't let him have the funds. This painted a picture of a guy who wasn't just financially controlled but financially abused. The court recognized that Angela's actions went beyond just managing money, it was a calculated effort to keep Michael under her thumb. With all the evidence and the clear power imbalance, the court decided to step in. The judge ordered Angela's bank account frozen until they could do a thorough audit. This wasn't just a financial move, it was a statement. The court wasn't just freezing her funds, it was freezing her control and ability to manipulate Michael through money.
There is a problem here!
Angela.
No, this is what he does. He goes around making everyone think he's a nice guy.
I get it.
We're not okay. It's just he doesn't pay attention to me even when I'm...
I am paying
You
attention.
bitch, you haven't. It's not who you're talking to. What? We're in big and you know this, and you're in there laughing with guys, girls, and you're walking around like nothing's wrong, Michael. There is a problem here. And you are the problem.
When the court decided to freeze Angela's bank account, it hit her hard. She had always prided herself on being in control, so losing that power out of nowhere was a total shock and super frustrating. At first, she couldn't believe it. How could the court just take away her control like that? But as reality sank in, her disbelief turned into anger. Angela was known for her temper, and this situation was no different. She vented to anyone who would listen, blaming the court, the lawyers, and even Michael for what she saw as an unfair attack on her independence. Now, Angela tried to act tough, but it was clear she was struggling. She had always been the one calling the shots, and now that power was gone. This wasn't just a legal issue for her. It felt personal. People were quick to react while thinking this was karma for her controlling ways. A person commented saying, Angela always thought she was untouchable, but this just goes to show that no one is above the law. It's about time she faced the consequences of her actions. Another one added, I can't help but feel a bit of schadenfreude here. Angela's always been so controlling, and now she's on the receiving end of that control. It's a harsh lesson in humility. This public humiliation was probably the hardest part for Angela. She had always been the one in charge, and now she was the one being judged. Having her bank account frozen was embarrassing, and she couldn't hide it. Asking friends and family for money only added to her shame. For someone who had always been self-sufficient, it was a tough pill to swallow. Many of her friends, already wary of her behavior, were hesitant to help, which only deepened her feelings of isolation and despair. On the flip side, Michael saw the court's decision as a breath of fresh air, a glimmer of hope after feeling trapped for so long. For the first time in ages, he felt like he could take back control of his life. The ruling wasn't just a legal win. It validated everything he had been through. It showed him he wasn't alone and that there was a way out of the toxic situation he would be living in. Freezing Angela's bank account marked a turning point for him, a chance to break free from the financial hold she had on him.
Text messages, oh, you're in pain, laugh out loud. Is that funny to you? You know the difference between you and I, Michael? I have a heart. I'm a mean bitch. I'll fight in a goddamn minute and I'll with you. You have no heart, man.
Have a seat.
If you think you won't keep that Instagram, you got a wrong bitch, man.
Looking back at Angela and Michael's relationship, it's pretty obvious their issues started way before the court got involved. From the get-go, there were tons of red flags that showed their relationship was on rough ground. Angela's jealousy, her need to control everything, and her emotional manipulation of Michael were clear even in the early days. Angela had this intense need to be in charge. Whether it was money, communication, or even who Michael hung out with, she had to have the final say. Her jealousy was a huge problem too. She often accused Michael of cheating or being dishonest, even when there was no real reason to think that. This constant suspicion made it impossible for trust to grow. Michael often found himself having to defend his actions or just giving in to Angela's demands to keep things calm. One of the biggest issues was Angela's emotional manipulation. She knew exactly how to push Michael's buttons, using guilt and fear to keep him in line. She would threaten to end things or pull back affection if he didn't do what she wanted. This created a really unhealthy power dynamic where Michael was always on edge, trying to keep Angela happy to avoid drama. Over time, this really took a toll on him, making him feel trapped and powerless. Angela's control stretched into every part of their marriage. From finances to where they lived to who Michael could talk to, she made sure she was the one calling the shots. This kind of control isn't just unhealthy, it's also a recipe for disaster. A relationship where one person has all the power while the other has none is bound to fail. For Angela and Michael, the money issues were just the surface problem. The real issue was the lack of respect and trust, two things every successful marriage needs. However, Angela's need to control everything led to the collapse of their marriage. So what are your thoughts on this ongoing saga? Do you think Angela and Michael can ever find a way to make their relationship work? Or is it time for them to part ways for good? Share your opinions in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on other 90 Day Fiancé stories.